So recently I had a call with my publisher, aka a person from the publishers that's taking care of me. He's called John, so hi John, how are you doing? So he went to my website and he asked me if I would be using it as my author's website. And obviously I answered yes, even though I knew that my website, lexiejanson.com, will need a refresh would be an underestimation of what I wanted to do with this website, but I knew it's gonna need some work. I just knew that the website itself will be my author's website. Now, at the previous state of my website, it has served the purpose of being my portfolio as a content creator. So it had pictures, videos, companies I worked with, media kits, and stuff like this. All the boring stuff in general. Now the thing is, I actually have two websites, so I thought, hey, I can just move all of the portfolio stuff into this first one, because why should I have two portfolios in the first place? Remains a secret, but we will not talk about it here. Now the idea of what I needed to change on my personal website to make it an author's website was basically all of it. So John and I have discussed the potential changes that I need to make on my website to make it an author's website, and I want to share all of those things with you. Now, I'm gonna have a full presentation about it, and I'm gonna show you my website, and also you can go to my website, link is down below, sign up for a newsletter for my debut fantasy novel coming out this Halloween. Amazing, isn't it? It's great. So let's get to it and make it as visually appealing as possible so we can all understand what is going on. Now, what are the author's website must-dos? Well, first things first, do you actually need an author's website? A lot of people ask me this, and I guess the answer is yes and no. If you are serious about being an author and want to be independent of the algorithms of social media, yes. If you want to have a hub from which your readers can find you everywhere, yes. Now, if you are stubborn and think you don't need it, sure, trust your gut. You still need it, okay? You still need it. So let's just talk about what is the most important on the author's website. I actually cannot tell you how many times I went on an author's website and I left immediately because the things that I've seen there were like, do you even care about your book? Dear God, some author, oh my God. I sidetracked a little bit, sorry for this, but here are the things that author's website has to have. Number one is a pretty header. So you need a header picture with info on where to buy your book and when the release date is. Such an info should be the first thing that people see when entering the website, keeping things simple. So this is for the books that are incoming for you, like the next book in your series, the next book in your trilogy, the first book, the debut novel that you are having. If it's already out, just make it already out and where to buy or something like this. On my website, it looks more or less like this. You have a pretty header with a crown and some blood and other things going on in, and it also says 31st of October 2025, mark your calendar, pre-order and release reminder, Pinterest mood boards. I'll get to this pretty soon, but this is the first thing you see once you get into my website. Number two is the section with links. And I know that this is the same thing as kind of like in the menu bar on the top and in the header, but some graphics with a couple of things that people may click on may actually change a lot. If you go to my website and you scroll just a little bit, you're gonna get coming soon, events, and books. Now, I did self-published a non-fiction book before, so I can actually do it. If you cannot, you can still put the books that are about to come. So still, it can be coming soon, and books can be the same type of a thing right now if this is your first book, but in other way, you know, if you have more than one book, it's better to have them separately. Events are things like events that you are generally going on, things such as public speaking gigs or book signing and things like this. For me currently, it's actually just events and fantasy balls that I'm attending. Coming soon is obviously the latest news about my book. And number three is now available. So this will be the section I'll add once the book is on pre-sale, showing people that it is already available and can be bought with purchase links, obviously. At the current state, my website just has a coming soon, Crown of Shadows, pre-order, and discover the White Raven Tale, so people can read a little bit more about the book itself. But this is basically it. I need to actually correct this little guy, but I'm currently struggling with it. I don't know where to find this thing. Now, number 4 is a little bit of an about me. People like watching other people. People like to know about other people. And this is why we have social media in the first place. Create some type of a connection with your reader and tell them a little bit about yourself. Not just, I offered this book, dot. It can be anything, really. It can be where you were born and stuff like this. So, yes, I do have a little join newsletter here, but then you have a little bit about an offer. So this is my about me, and it tells you a little bit about what I'm doing, what I have been doing before, what I'm interested in, what I like, and what I want to share through my writing. Number 5 is newsletter sign up. How to make people sign up? That's a different story, because yes, you want to have a newsletter just to be absolutely immune to all of the algorithms on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever else. You want to have a contact to your own audience and to your own readers. This is the most important thing. Now, you can make them sign up through a bonus content, behind the scenes, some extra thoughts, and just giving them some type of an exclusive access to things that are usually not available. So what I am doing on my personal website, as you can see, there is a movement a little bit to catch your eye, and it looks a little bit different than the whole website. It's kind of like a different block, but it also says join now to receive latest information on new and upcoming releases, events, exclusive sales, and more. Subscribe to get the bonus content upon the book release. Now, I will be sharing an extra chapter or two with my audience around 2 months after the book has been out, because I could give those things right now to people, but then they're gonna read the chapters and they're gonna be like, I'm not entirely sure where it's supposed to be going. So I'm gonna wait around 2 months to actually release this bonus content so people can get it once they read the book and once they can understand what is going on. But I'm already telling them that the bonus content will be available. Number 6, kind of pretty footer with info. So if we go to my website, there's actually a blog in here. Then there's also information about my Instagram, so you can scroll through the newest things that I have published. And then my footer just has my social media, and there's book stuff, books, bonus content, coming soon events, and other stuff such as newsletters, Substack, privacy policy, and contact. So that's basically it. There's my contact email, which is just an inside joke, but digress. And that's how my homepage basically looks like. So again, pretty nice header with information of what is going on with the book, giving people some info like Pinterest mood board so they can see if they would be into it. It's dark fantasy, so it's pretty dark in there. There's also pre-order and release reminder, those 3 things that people can just check and be like, oh, so she's actually doing a lot of stuff. Information about the upcoming book with the pre-release, again, reminder, and more information about the book, the newsletter, about me, blog, Instagram, so people can follow me, and again, the footer. So that's basically the full homepage. And if you want to see it on your own, I'm leaving you the link to my website down below. Feel free to sign up for this newsletter. The book's gonna be great. Multiple POVs, dark fantasy, psychological stuff, folktale monsters. You may like it. Anyway, we should totally add a counter of how many times I'm gonna say books within this particular part. So, books. Create a space where your books come to life. Explain which books are yours, in what order should they be read, or just add a lot of info about yours one and only. Now, considering the fact that Crown of Shadows is the first book in my series called The White Raven Tales, there's going to be a lot of other books. So when you click books in here, you're going to see again The White Raven Tales, as all of the books in general, all of the series, as well as The Crown of Shadows, book 1 now. Discover the White Raven Tales, and again the standalone that I self-published way back when, and it's kind of there. Then a newsletter, because I want everyone to sign in there. Now, if we go here, you can pre-order the book, or you can discover the White Raven Tales, and it's gonna tell you everything about the book. Now, I really want to create a really easy system in which you will be able to see all of the books by themselves. So the Crown of Shadows is the first one, and there's a little bit of a description on it. There's trigger warnings. This is not an official list because I just kind of wanted to. And then the book details, such as release date, genre, series. It says that this is a book 1. You can pre-order it. You can go to Pinterest board for visuals. And that's basically the thing that I kind of thought makes the most sense for the book. There's also a little bit of a quote to kind of interest people. And a reader review that I really liked from one of my beta readers. You need a certain dose of insanity to read this book, because if you start, it is hard to put it away. I loved it so much because I was like, we need a little bit of insanity, especially that her favorite character is a little bit insane. Next on, I have events, and you should be having them in there if you are planning in person, like book signings, if you plan on public speaking, if you plan on showing up in some of the bookstores, or if you just go to certain events like Renaissance fairs, fantasy balls, and things like this. So this is for your personal consideration. I thought that it's going to be really important because I want to have a real relationship with my audience and with my readers. I want them to actually see me and talk to me, because if someone wants to talk about my favorite characters, I'm absolutely so much into it. If you ever see me on the street and you have any conspiracy theories about my book, please do come. I will enjoy. Bring popcorn. Not even. I'll just enjoy. So on my website, if you go to the events, you're going to see come meet me in person, events and appearances. And there is a whole list of events with the links. I'm trying to update it as much as possible with the things that I'm actually going to and you can see me at. So I think it's a really important thing to just kind of stay in touch with your audience. I think it's kind of cool. So again, for your consideration, you don't really have to do it, but it's nice to do it. Next off is coming soon. This is an important one for like debut authors that are not out yet especially, but also for everyone who is about to release another book in their series or trilogy or whatever else, and just things that are coming soon but are not out yet. Now again, personally, Crown of Shadows is my debut novel, which means there are no other coming soon books as of yet, but since it's a series, I will do my best to publish every single one of them. Now, my personal goal is to sell 2,000 books during the pre-sale, and this is just because this will trigger my contract with the publisher, and once I sold 2,000 books, we are triggering for the next book to be in works. So the quicker I do it, the quicker it's gonna be released, and I'm actually like, you know, I don't want anyone to wait so long for the book, especially that it kind of finishes with a cliffhanger, and I'm really sorry for this. Plus, if you don't really have any type of official content about your book as of yet, like for example, me right now, we are waiting for all of the things to trigger as per publisher's normal timeline. So I don't really have a cover yet, I don't have an official blurb, I don't have a lot of things except for what I came up with. So I can interest people with everything that I have. So I can have the pre-sale, I can have the Pinterest boards, I can have a little bit of an information when it's coming out and things like this. And this is really good for the authors that don't really have anything to show yet because of the publisher's timelines like I do. So my cover will be released like July, I believe, like July. Somewhere in July. So then I will be able to put the cover into the website. But as of now, it is what it is, and I'm doing as best as I can with the things that I have. I'm an author, it's up to me to interest you with my book. That's it, kinda. Now the next page is about info on the author. So I am less alien to my readers. And you. So you know me, you know who I am, you know how I talk, you know how I'm basically looking like and things like this. As I said a little bit earlier, there is an official info about me, like things I've been doing. You can follow me on Pinterest, Goodreads. There is my media kit. I should probably add all of my social media here as well. There's my contact email for anyone who wants me to do any type of public speaking and things like this. There's a newsletter, and then there's fun facts about Lexie. Now the next page is blog, and John actually told me that it's extremely important to just keep people coming. Now I have personally decided to have my blog on Substack, and the reason for this is, one, Substack allows me to have more reach through the people who are interested in the similar topics, so they can find my book and my blogs and everything on the Substack. But also I am actually adding all of the stuff from Substack to the website as well for the SEO purposes mostly. Like if someone finds my blog posts through my website, cool, but most of them are on Substack just for the aesthetics of it. Like I don't really like the blog posts on Squarespace, which is what I'm using. I really like blog posts more on Substack. They are like prettier, in a way, you know what I mean? But what to blog about? You can blog about behind the scenes stuff, your progress, your map, your stories, how you figured something out, your life in general, or other books that you are reading. This is my approach. So I am actually making reviews of other books that are kind of in a similar genre, which is basically fantasy and a little bit of different things. But generally, I just know that those people who like those particular books will like my book. So it's the same thing that I'm doing on my Instagram and my YouTube. So you can see that this channel is basically reviewing other books, talking about other books, and also talking about how I'm publishing my own book. And I will later be doing videos about my own book as well. Now let's just talk about the important parts of the website. You can have every single element, but it's not with enough attention to detail, and then the website is rendered not as good as it should be. So let's just say it this way. Making sure that your website is good requires attention to detail, just as you paid attention to the detail of your own book. Make sure your social media links are correct. I really cannot tell you how many times I went to an author's website, clicked their TikTok or Instagram link, and I have been taken to "this page does not exist." Number 2, the main picture and info should show the most recent book or your debut book for the time before it gets published, or the book that is coming soon. New book in a series, new book that's coming soon in a trilogy, the new book that I'm writing right now and we know that it's in editing, it's with the publisher. The logo or your name, if you are using your name like me, should be easy to read and big enough for people to know what it says. If you thought that was the end, you are wrong, because there's just 3 examples of each thing for a couple of slides, so continue. Now let's talk blog or most recent news section. Make sure that your website looks updated and looks like if you care about it, because you do. Now hear me out. Recently I've been on an author's website and they have like a really big book. Like it recently got onto New York Square and I was so excited for them. And I go to their website and they still have the first book of the series on the top of their website. And I'm like, why? Next off, newsletter. Let's imagine that all of the social media goes to the abyss. We have seen it in the US with TikTok for a little bit. So imagine that you are losing access to your favorite social media platform. How do you reach your audience? Newsletter. Because newsletter cannot be taken away from you. Be sure that you have it and be sure to write something every once in a while. Hypocrisy right now, but I digress. Now, menu or navigation bar, make sure that it's easy to navigate and that it's visible. White letters on a white background are not going to be visible. I don't know why some people think that it's sexy. Next off, make sure your website is responsive. Your audience will totally check out your website on more than just a laptop. They will probably also use their phone. So, the bare minimum of your responsiveness should be a laptop and the phone. Be sure that it is responsive. The amount of unresponsive websites of authors is astonishing. I obviously have an IT background, if you were wondering, and I was making websites, so. Contact options for potential public speaking gigs. As you could see in my About page, I do have my contact email for hello@lexiejanson.com. Yes, some people will misuse it, but also yes, it is good to have such an email there. And it also shows bookstores and publishers and all the other types of things that you are open for collaboration and you are open for contact and doing things outside of social media, let's say. And last but not least, SEO optimization. This is the search engine optimization. Be sure that if someone writes your name and surname or your book name, your series name, and things like this, that your website is still on the first page. Be sure that your stuff is also there and it's easy to find. Like probably your book is not going to be on the top because of Amazon and Goodreads and other things like this, but be sure that you are on the first page. Speaking of which, am I on the first page? Okay, if I Google myself, there is my exact web page, which is actually good right now. And this is the best possible thing, but I know that once the book is out, it's going to go a little bit lower. So if your website before you publish anything is first, you're fine. Now, I guess go get them and get to creating your website. I created my own website myself, but as I said before, I actually have an IT background, so I knew a little bit more about creating websites. This is how it is. Now, remember to spend some serious time working on the details of your website, and don't worry about it because you can always make some changes. I actually changed my offers picture literally today, actually, because I was like, I had a really good one from the recent ball that I was attending, and it's much better than the one that I had before. So I just changed it. And it's absolutely okay for you to make changes to your website whenever you feel about it, okay? Like whenever you want to. It's all good. Now, since we're on it, have you ever seen any offers website? Which ones you do like and which ones you loathe? I will leave a first comment about the one that I absolutely hated, and it may be a shocker because I was so shocked that the website was that bad. Now, if you want to learn the story behind my personal debut novel book publishing, click the video right here in which I'm explaining everything with dates and with behind the scenes videos of me being really happy in my pajamas. So it's absolutely amazing. Or if you are more interested in the behind the scenes of book publishing, I made a whole playlist so you can check it out right here. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay awesome, fam. Bye!